Welcome to A-Level and AP Physics. In today's lesson, we will discuss past paper questions from October-November 2022, Paper 2, Variant 2 for CIE IGCSE Physics. As always we do, we will discuss these questions in detail so you can improve your conceptual understanding and also you can have better understanding of these questions. Let's study together, let's improve together. Question 11 says the diagram shows a tank containing seawater and density of seawater is equal to 1020 kg per cubic meter. We need to find out what is the pressure at point P relative to atmospheric pressure. Relative means that we have to use atmospheric pressure as a reference. So let's try to understand what is meaning of relative. If you look at this point, pressure at this point is due to atmospheric pressure, means due to column of air above the surface of water and also due to column of liquid. So this one we can say this is simply P atmospheric. And we can also draw arrow here, and this is telling us depth of liquid, means the column of liquid. And there is also pressure at this point due to liquid and also due to atmospheric pressure. So simply we can say value of P, value of pressure at point P, this is due to P atmospheric plus this is due to P liquid. Question is asking us to find out value of pressure at point P relative to atmospheric pressure. So it simply means that you need to find out P total minus P atmospheric, and this is equal to P liquid. So simply we need to find out P liquid, that is equal to the pressure at point P relative to atmospheric pressure. So simply from here we can say P liquid, this is equal to rho G times delta H. Then delta H we can find from here. The total depth of water is given, that is 8.0 meters. So we can find out delta H. Delta H is equal to 8.0 minus this height above the bottom of this container. That is equal to 0.60 meters because this is given in centimeters. If we solve this one, we will get 7.4 meters. Now simply we need to plug in values. In this case, we have density of liquid that is equal to 1020. So simply we can write on here, and value of G is equal to 10 and the height is equal to 7.4. Means the depth is equal to 7.4. Now, if we solve this one, our final answer will be equal to 75,000 Pascal. And this is above atmosphere because we have subtracted P atmosphere here. So we can say above P atmosphere. So the answer for this question is C. Question number 12 says the pressure of a fixed mass of gas in a cylinder is measured. The volume of the gas in the cylinder is slowly decreased. The temperature of the gas does not change. Which graph shows how the pressure of the gas changes during this process? For this one, simply you can imagine, first of all, we have this cylinder. So this one is the cylinder and there is a piston. So this one you can imagine, this one is the piston. So this is the piston. So in this case, temperature remains constant. So simply you can say delta T in this case is equal to 0. And we decrease the volume. This piston is pushed inwards. So let's say this is at this point now. So in this case, volume is decreasing. So if the volume is decreasing and temperature does not change, so pressure has to increase. We can also understand this one with the help of PV over T. This is equal to constant. PV over T, this is equal to constant. Actually, constant is N times capital E. N is the amount of gas, means the number of mole, and R is gas constant. But you don't need to understand this one in detail because this is not part of your syllabus. Simply you can understand PV over T is equal to constant. So from here we can understand if T is constant, so this is constant, and volume if decrease, so the pressure has to increase. So simply in this case, as volume is decreasing, pressure is increasing. So we can write down pressure in this case is increasing. And pressure also we need to understand at time T is equal to 0, means when the piston is at this point, P is not equal to 0. P is not equal to 0. Now, if you look at given option, this one is not possible. This is telling you P remains constant. This is telling you P is increasing with time. But this is also telling you at time T is equal to 0, P is equal to 0. So this is not the right option. I mean, this is incorrect because P when time is equal to 0, P is not equal to 0. Means when the piston is at position A, P is not equal to 0. And this one is a possible answer. This is correct answer because pressure is increasing with time, and when time is equal to 0, P is not equal to 0. So this is our correct answer. This one is wrong because this is telling you pressure is decreasing with time. So this option is also incorrect. For question number 13, we need to find out what are the best conditions for the clothes to dry most quickly. Most quickly means the evaporation rate has to be faster. And rate of evaporation is faster if the wind speed is higher. If the wind speed is higher, evaporation rate is faster. And also if temperature is greater, rate of evaporation is faster. So in this case, dresses, they will dry very quickly. So simply for this one, you can say wind speed has to be high and temperature also has to be high. So the answer for this question is A. Question number 15 says a scientist is determining the specific latent heat of vaporization of a liquid. He puts the liquid in a vacuum flask and heats it with a 100 watts heater. The mass of the liquid in the vacuum flask when it starts to boil is 300 grams. He continues to heat the liquid for a further 12 minutes, after which the mass of the remaining liquid is 100 grams. What is the specific latent heat of vaporization of the liquid? And also in this case, we can assume that all the thermal energy from the heater is used to vaporize the liquid. Nice question, a typical question on specific latent heat of vaporization of a liquid. So simply we can start with Q is equal to M times L. Q is the amount of thermal energy supplied. So this is thermal energy supplied. Means thermal energy used to vaporize liquid. So we can say thermal energy supplied. But better way to say this one is, this is the actual amount of thermal energy that is used to vaporize the liquid. So for simplicity, we can say thermal energy supplied. And M is very important one you need to understand. M is mass of liquid converted into gas. So very important one. Mass of liquid converted into gas. So I will simply write down converted into gas. So in this case, we have initially 300 grams of liquid. And finally, we have 100 grams of liquid. So how much gas has been produced? So gas is 200 grams. Means 200 grams of the liquid has been converted into gas. And that is M. And L we have to find out in this case. So L we need to find. But for this question, Q is not given to us directly, but power is given and time is given. So simply we can replace Q with P times T. And this is equal to M times L. We need to find out value of L. So simply we can say this is power times time divided by M. Means the amount, or simply you can say mass of liquid converted into gas. So we have value of P that is equal to 100 watts, and time you have to use SI base units. SI base units. Time is given in minutes, so we have to convert this one into seconds, and the mass is 200 grams. We also need to convert this one into SI base units. So this is 200 grams. So we have to convert this one into kgs. So we will multiply with 10 to minus 3. Now if we solve this one, our final answer in this case will be equal to 360,000 joules per kg. It simply means that if we want to convert 1 kilogram of liquid into gas, we have to supply this much thermal energy. So the answer for this question is D. So this is how you can approach. You need to understand, not simply understand Q is equal to ML, remember, and put in numbers. That's not physics. I hope this question is clear to you. Question number 16 says, which piece of equipment is designed to produce a type of electromagnetic wave? In electromagnetic spectrum, we have 7 waves and all of them are electromagnetic waves. Now, if you look at option A, it is given to us electric fire. Electric fire simply means that it is emitting infrared radiation. So it is emitting infrared radiations. And infrared radiations are, you can say, infrared waves. They are electromagnetic waves. So the answer for this question is A. B is not answer. Electric generator. Electric generator convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. So option B is incorrect. Electric motor, this convert electrical energy into mechanical. So this is also incorrect. Electromagnetic gravitational means magnetic field means electricity can produce its own magnetic field. So this is also incorrect. So the answer for this one is A. Question number 17 says a sound wave travels from air into water. Which row describes what happens to the frequency and wavelength of the wave? So first of all, we need to understand how the speed of the sound is changing. As the sound travels from air means gas into water, speed of the sound will increase because speed of the sound is the fastest in solids, then in liquids, then in gases. So the speed of sound is increased. So first thing we can say in this case, speed of the sound will increase. Now we need to look at the frequency. Frequency of a wave, it depends on the source. It depends on source. In this case, source is the same. As the source is not changing, it means frequency will stay same. As frequency stays same, we can write on V is equal to F times lambda. Frequency stays same. So if speed of the wave increase, it means the lambda has to increase. So simply if you look at these given options, frequency has to stay same. So the answer can be C, or answer can be D. But wavelength has to increase. So the answer for this question is D. For question number 18, we need to find out which name is given to this effect. So in this case, you can simply see waves are spreading out. As the waves spread out, this phenomenon is called diffraction. So simply this is diffraction, means spreading out of waves as they pass through a gap or around an obstacle. Question number 19 says a ray of light travels from air into a material as shown in the figure. What is the refractive index of the material? So simply this question is about use of Snell's law. So first of all, we need to find out angle of incidence. In this case, angle of incidence is this. An angle of incidence is equal to 50 degrees because this angle is 90, so 90 minus 40, this is equal to 50 degrees. And this is angle of refraction. So we can say this is medium 1 and we can say this is the second medium. Now simply we have to use Snell's law. According to Snell's law, we can say N1 sine of theta 1, this has to be equal to N2 sine of theta 2. So this is our medium 1. Refractive index for air is equal to 1, means N1 is equal to 1. So we can write down this is 1. And we have sine of theta 1 is equal to 50 degrees, and we need to find out value of N2, and we have sine of theta 2. Theta 2 in this case is equal to 27 degrees. So we need to find out N2. N2 will be equal to sine of 50 degrees divided by sine of 27 degrees. So we can write out 27 degrees. So let me rewrite this. So this is 27 degrees. If we solve this one, our answer will be equal to 1.7 up to 2SF. So C is answer for this question. So simply you need to understand Snell's law. The best way to use Snell's law is simply you can mark one medium 1, another medium you can mark 2, and then you can use Snell's law. If you follow these steps, you will not make mistakes. Question 20 says the diagram shows an object in front of a plane mirror. At which labeled position is the image of the object formed? So in this case, we're talking about plane mirror. So we have to understand few properties of the image formed in a plane mirror. So simply we can say plane mirror. For plane mirror, we are talking about properties of image form. Image is formed at the same distance from the mirror as the object. Mean object and image, they have the same distance from the mirror. So we can say same distance. And also image and object, they have the same size. Same size. Then also image is formed opposite to the object, opposite side of object. So we can say opposite side. So in this case, for example, object is in front of mirror, so the image will be behind mirror on the opposite side, and it also laterally inverted. So this is laterally inverted. It means left become right and right become left. So these properties, basic properties, we need to understand. In order to answer this question, simply we need to understand same distance and opposite side. So here we have object. So image has to be on the opposite side. It means it has to be here. And the distance between mirror and object has to be the same as distance between mirror and the image. So the answer for this question is B.